Hello and welcome back to my Samurai Jack Retrospective. I'm your host, That Minnesotan Guy. Today's review is going to cover a very memorable episode that I'm sure many Jack fans remember fondly. I even want to point out that this episode is another personal favorite of mine. Now let's dive in and review Samurai Jack Episode 18, Jack and the Ultra Robots. We've come full circle, folks. I talked about this piece of music before in past reviews. It's put to good use here because the carnage emphasizes the dread that Jack will have to endure for the next two scenes.
Jack finds a survivor who explains what happened here. The village was attacked and the threat destroyed everything using a claw, buzzsaws, and machine guns. He tells Jack to go east before he dies.
This scene is great because it acts as a build-up for the threat that Jack will have to face. I also like how this scene shows only pieces of the threat, but not the whole thing. It's like in Jaws. You know, Steven Spielberg didn't show much of the shark until the three men started hunting for the beast. The next two scenes show more of the threat in detail. Believe me when I say that they are very intimidating.
Jack arrives at another destroyed village.
I like how the dead robots here act as gore. It's very effective in the same way that human gore is. Gore is generally seen as an unpleasant image, and the dead robots outright shock you because your eyes can never forget a sight like that. If you are feeling sick and or disgusted by what you saw, pause the review, take a bathroom break, and then come back when you feel better. Don't worry, I can wait.
Jack finds a dying survivor who explains that his city came under attack when explosions were detonated. The city tried to fight back, but they were no match for the invisible attacker. Fires then spread, and a large blast killed everyone.
I have to admit, this scene showcased large-scale destruction that I still enjoy to this day.
Before he dies, the robot tells Jack to go east.
Don't worry, Jack. They will pay for this. They all will pay.
By the time Jack arrives at the third village, there are no survivors. Instead, we get gory shots of dead individuals with throwing stars in their bodies and dismembered limbs.
I miss when we had this type of violence in cartoons.
In between all the destroyed villages, we see that the killers are preparing for their next attack. Each one matches with the villages that they destroyed. We also see a scientist in this series of clips.
At first, the episode makes you think that the scientist is the bad guy. He isn't. But we'll get to that in a little bit.
Jack follows some footsteps only to come across a series of baskets.
Decepticon drones. Yes, I was. If you notice carefully, there is a line underneath the red eyes of the Ultra Robots. I've always felt that this acts as an evil smile for them. If you need to see that again, pause at the exact moment when you see that line.
Why did you destroy all of those villages?
To lure you to us. To draw you out. We have been hunting you. We have come to destroy you.
Your search is over. Come and get me.
The Ultra Robots attack, and Jack makes a shocking discovery.
Extra thick metal. What are you going to do, Jack? Jack! Get out of there! No! No! Jack! Oh, good. He's okay. Now hide, Jack. Good job, Jack.
After scanning the area, the Ultra Robots leave and a defeated Jack gets a visitor.
You can't hide forever.
Who's there?
I am Extor, the one who created those monsters.
All right, everyone. It's time for another backstory.
Extor explains that he created the Ultra Robots to kill Jack. He spent days and nights making them. He then let the machines analyze Jack in order to understand their opponent. Aku then gave the machines his essence, and the Ultra Robots destroyed Extor's lab as well as his city.
Extor's deal with Aku cost him everything. But it's a good thing to know that he wants to rectify what happened.
Extor wants Jack to help, but Jack believes that the Ultra Robots are too great of a threat to defeat. Extor provides a solution. Alone, Jack's sword isn't strong enough to cut through the adamantium metal, but with a power gauntlet, he'll be able to put the Ultra Robots down for good.
I will help.
High five.
What?
High five.
What?
High five.
I do not understand.
Even I don't understand high fives very well.
Jack returns to the same spot, and the Ultra Robots comment on his power gauntlet.
We see you have made some modifications. Altering your original combat chassis will not help you. Do not prolong the inevitable.
Enough!
All right, Jack. Show these guys what you got.
The fight begins, and the Flamethrower guy is the first to go. The Claw guy then gets cut, and he is finished off. The Machine Gunner and Throwing Star guy tag team, but they can't land a hit. The Bomber throws a few rounds until he gets one around the gauntlet.
3 down. 5 to go.
The Machine Gunner and Throwing Star guy scan the area with green eyes. They find Jack, but rip the Bomber apart. Jack cuts the Machine Gunner and finishes off the Throwing Star guy.
Wow!
I forgot to mention this at the first action sequence, but there is great tension being used here. Oh sure, there is tension in this action sequence as well, but it gets amplified to 10 in a little bit here.
The Buzzsaw guy attacks, but he loses an arm. The Invisibility guy attacks and loses an arm as well. He cloaks and seems to overpower Jack. Jack notices the footsteps and slices the Buzz guy. The Invisibility guy is then taken down. Only the Sword guy remains.
Oh, even in the future we still have to use batteries?
Jack engages the Sword guy, but he is knocked down.
Fool. Your sword does not match the power of Aku.
You have no idea how wrong you are.
Jack then prays to his ancestors to grant him the strength in order to defeat the last Ultra Robot. He even states that he honors all who trust him and that the sword is an instrument of justice. The ancestors answer by beaming their godly power onto Jack. The fight ends with Jack slicing the last Ultra Robot in half.
Unbelievable.
The villages and cities have been avenged. Don't forget though, Jack, there is something that you have to take care of as well.
The sword!
Just you wait, Aku. Real pain is coming soon.
High five.
So that was Jack and the Ultra Robots. If you were to talk to any Jack fan about this episode, they would tell you about what made this episode memorable for them. Personally, it's a favorite of mine for many reasons. The story is enjoyable, the action sequences are spectacular, the use of gore is a nice welcome, memorable music, Jack using new tactics to defeat his opponent is great to see, and the main antagonist being one of Season 2's main highlights. The Ultra Robots were so great that they even showed up in the Samurai Jack video game, Code of the Samurai. Join me next time when I review Episode 19. Now just remember, folks, I make this show for fun. I'm That Minnesotan Guy, bringing you all quality entertainment since 1996. Or is it 1986? Or maybe 1976? I don't know. I'll see y'all next time.